We all agreed. You're not welcome at the wedding, my mom said with a smirk. Good to know, I replied, transferred the $6,500 honeymoon fund back to my account, and canceled the flights I booked in her name. By morning, I had 23 missed calls and one message that changed everything. I honestly didn't expect it to go down like this. My younger brother is getting married next month. We're not super close, but I figured we were at least on good terms. I helped him and his fiancée out when they were struggling last year, loaned them money, helped them move, even let them crash at my place for a week when their apartment flooded. Never expected anything in return, just wanted to be supportive. Fast forward to now. My mom invited me over for dinner to talk about wedding logistics. I showed up thinking we'd be sorting out seating charts or something, only to get blindsided. She sat me down and told me that, after a family discussion, they'd all decided I wasn't welcome at the wedding. No real explanation, no fight, no falling out, just that they thought it was better if I didn't come. My brother wasn't even there. She said it all so casually, like she was doing me a favor by telling me early. What she didn't know was that I'd been the one who gifted them the $6,500 honeymoon fund last month, paid directly into a joint savings account his fiancée set up and gave me access to for the transfer. I also booked their international flights using my travel points in my mom's name because she'd been planning to surprise them by showing up at the resort for a few days as a gesture of love or whatever. So, I went home, transferred the money back to my account, and canceled the flights. The whole process took maybe 15 minutes. By the next morning, I had 23 missed calls, half from my mom, some from my brother, and a few from relatives I hadn't spoken to in months. No voicemails. Just one text from my brother that said he had no idea and begged me to call him. But it wasn't his message that got to me. It was one from my aunt, just 4 words, "You should see this." I opened the link she sent and started reading, and that's when everything started unraveling. The link my aunt sent was a screenshot, a cropped chunk from a family group chat I wasn't in. Apparently, someone had accidentally added her to it. Not realizing she still had the same number, she quietly stayed in, watching until she saw my name come up. They'd been talking about the wedding, what decorations to use, song requests, who'd be at which table, and then the conversation shifted. My name popped up, and not in a good way. My mom kicked it off, saying I'd been difficult lately and that I had a way of making things about myself. She said excluding me from the wedding would keep things peaceful. What got me was how quickly everyone jumped on board. An uncle chimed in about how I was always too quiet and made things awkward. Another relative joked that I probably wouldn't even notice I wasn't invited. Then came the kicker. My brother's fiancée said she was relieved I wouldn't be there because she didn't want that energy on her big day, that energy like I was some kind of storm cloud. My mom replied with a thumbs up and said she'd handle it. No one defended me, not even my brother, not once, just silence. I sat with that for a while. I didn't respond to anyone's calls or texts. I didn't see the point. They'd made their feelings clear long before I canceled anything. I wasn't wanted, not for who I am, just for what I could give. The thing is, I'd never told them the honeymoon fund was from me. I didn't want credit, just wanted to do something kind. My mom knew though, and she used that to spin it into her own gift. That's why the flights were in her name. She planned to take credit for all of it. By the afternoon, the messages got angrier. My brother left a voicemail saying the trip was non-refundable and now everything was ruined. My mom sent a voice note crying, saying I was destroying the happiest time of their lives. And all I could think was they were fine destroying me. After the group chat leak and the wave of calls, I expected some sort of apology or at least an attempt to smooth things over. But what came next was even more revealing. My cousin, the only one in the family I still talked to regularly, reached out privately. She told me my mom had been scrambling to fix everything, not by reaching out to me, but by trying to replace what I took away. They were trying to rebook flights. Problem was, everything had been arranged using my frequent flyer account. The flights were award bookings, tied to my points, and fully under my name. The resort booking was connected to that same itinerary. Canceling it wiped out the whole package. And since it was peak season, the prices had doubled since I had made the reservations months ago. Apparently, they tried calling the airline and even posing as me to verify the account. Didn't work. My cousin said my mom lost it on the phone when she found out everything was locked behind 2-factor authentication. At this point, the wedding was 3 weeks away. And the honeymoon was supposed to start the morning after. They had nothing, no flights, no hotel, no plan B. My cousin said my mom told everyone she'd fix it, but behind the scenes, she was begging people for money to cover the costs. My brother had no clue any of this had happened until 2 days after the cancellation. That's when he started texting me non-stop. His first few messages were calm, confused, but polite. When I didn't answer, they turned bitter. He accused me of overreacting, of ruining something that wasn't about me, said I should have just come to him first. But that was the thing. He was never going to come to me. He let them talk about me like I wasn't family, let them plan a wedding around my absence. I was only useful when I stayed quiet and paid for things. I didn't reply, I just kept reading every new message, letting them sit there, a wall of blue bubbles, one after the next. They didn't miss me. They missed the version of me that didn't ask questions and always picked up the tab. And they were about to miss a lot more. The more I thought about it, the more I realized this wasn't just about the wedding. It was about years of being treated like a placeholder, the quiet one. The one who always came through, never made a scene, never demanded space. And somewhere along the line, they stopped seeing me as a person and started seeing me as a convenience. I didn't tell anyone what I was planning next. No announcements, no warnings, just quiet actions, the way they like me best. First, I canceled the streaming accounts they all used. I'd been the one paying for the family plans since college. It wasn't expensive, but I wanted the silence to reach their daily routine. Then I logged into the shared phone account. I wasn't paying for everyone anymore, just the 2 lines in my name, mine and one for my cousin, who never asked for it but always appreciated it. Everyone else, gone. Next came the storage unit. My mom had been using a space I rented years ago to store sentimental items. I'd never gone through it, just kept paying the monthly fee. I scheduled a clearance with the facility and told them to discard anything unclaimed by the end of the month. Then I did the one thing I knew would really sting. I emailed the wedding venue. Nothing dramatic, just a quick note explaining I had been listed as a backup contact for the caterer and photographer and to please remove my information. I didn't want another 7 a.m. call from a vendor I wasn't even paying anymore. It wasn't revenge. I didn't post a big call out. I didn't tell anyone what I did. I didn't reply to the guilt-tripping messages or the angry voicemails. I didn't argue. I just left. Not physically, I still lived in the same city, but emotionally, I was gone. No more trying. No more explaining. No more waiting for them to remember I mattered. And just as I started to feel like I could finally breathe, another message came through. Not from my brother, not from my mom. This one was from my dad. My dad has never been part of the drama. He and my mom split when I was a teenager. And while he wasn't always around, he also never made things worse. We talk occasionally, holidays mostly. Nothing deep, but not strained either. So when I saw his name pop up, I hesitated. His message was longer than anything he'd ever sent me. It wasn't angry. It wasn't a lecture. It was an explanation. He told me he found out what happened through my aunt. She'd shown him the same group chat screenshots. He said he wasn't surprised, but he was disappointed, not in me in them. He said he saw this pattern a long time ago, how I was always expected to carry the weight quietly while everyone else took turns picking at me. He told me something I didn't know. When I was a kid, after the divorce, he had wanted to take me full-time. My mom fought hard to keep me with her, not out of love, but control. Said I was easier than my siblings. No trouble. He said he backed off eventually because he thought I was okay since I never complained. But he realized now that silence wasn't peace. It was survival. And then he offered something I never expected, a fresh start. Not in a symbolic way, a real one. He had a job opening at his firm out of state. Entry level but solid. He said he'd help me relocate if I wanted it. Help me get on my feet somewhere where no one knew me as just the quiet one who always picked up the check. For the first time in a long time, I felt like I had a choice. I didn't answer him right away. I just sat with it. The wedding came and went. I didn't get another invite. No one reached out to say they missed me at the reception. No one asked if I was okay. And that was fine. A week later, I accepted the job. Found a small apartment, packed what I needed, and left the rest behind. No dramatic goodbye. No final text. Just gone. The day I arrived in my new city, I bought a cheap bottle of wine and sat on the floor of my empty living room, surrounded by unopened boxes. For the first time, I wasn't dreading the next phone call, the next favor, the next guilt trip. For the first time, I wasn't just their backup plan. I was mine. If you enjoyed this story and want more real drama-filled family tales like this one, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I'm on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and every single one of you helps make that happen. Thanks for the support. More stories coming soon.